Circumstances made me what I am. Was I born a violent man? Circumstances made me what I am. Everyone should know. It sounds strange, might sound foolish, but things are getting better. Every day another fall victim to the beretta. Why is there so much violence killing me one another? Let us learn to love and let that shine brighter. Bad influence, you influence the youth and get slaughtered. Bad man used to be the respect the father. It's like no eyes don't realize the times get harder. Me talk a night without me might and still is laughter. Circumstances made me what I am. Was I born a violent man? Circumstances made me what I am. And everyone should know. Inside, when I try to cope, tell myself there is hope. It seems like the biggest joke. And as I put down the gun, still the lads must run. And when blind men can't come, and me a jam and a cool one go back in a school. The system lick me. There's no hope for those who have not from the slum. Take the little much we have still hunting we done. I beg you to show some love. When we get back, he replies, circumstances made me what I am. Was I born a violent man?
Good afternoon, brothers and sisters, good afternoon. You're listening to The Proven Truth with your brother and host, Anthony Brown. You're tuned into The Proven Truth with your brother and host, Anthony Brown. Yay! It's another Thursday afternoon, a beautiful Thursday afternoon in the territory of New Orleans, Louisiana. Another beautiful Thursday afternoon. It's a warm day. It's a warm day outside. It's a warm day. A warm, beautiful day outside. You can participate in the show. You can participate in the show by dialing the number 504-303-8922. You can participate in the show by dialing the number 504-303-8922. You can also listen to us by dialing the number 712-432-7883. Also, feel free to check us out on the web, listen to us on the web at www.radiogombocreole.net. That's RadioGombocreole.net. We live stream this and every broadcast, every show on Facebook. You can check us out on Facebook at Anthony Brown for Assessor 2017. That's Anthony ANTHONY Brown BROWN FORASSESSOR 2017. This show is also archived on several different places. You can check us out on the YouTube. You can check us out on the YouTube at The Proven Truth. You can check us out on the YouTube at The Proven Truth. Type in The Proven Truth and you will see your brother face pops up. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessing of liberty to ourselves and our prosperity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States. The United States Constitution. Origin and purpose of government. Origin and purpose of government. All governments of rights originate with the people, is formed on their will alone, and is instituted to protect the rights of the individual and for the good of the whole. Its only legitimate ends are to secure justice for all, preserve peace, protect the rights, and promote the happiness and general welfare of the people. Louisiana Constitution, 1974. Again, for our listening audience, the reason why we read these documents at the opening of our show is to remind these people that we call government, is to remind this institution or this group of people that we call government that there is such a document known as the Constitution. The Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the territory in which you so live. And these documents was created by we the people, the bosses, to control and bind the hands of those people, the employees, who we call government or who we call politicians. That's the reason why this document was created. That's the reason why we read this document at the beginning of every program, and also to remind those of us who tend to forget of our duty as the bosses, who tend to forget that we have a function to play in this whole system. There's a check and balance aspect towards the Constitution, which we tend to not realize or implement. Again, brothers and sisters, we got off to a late start today. Your brother voice is a bit out of it too, you know. And the reason why we got off to a late start and my voice is sounding the way it is because I recognize my authority, my duty, my portfolio as a boss, as one of the people, as one of the people who grant certain privilege to certain governmental agency or certain government, certain politician. And I was, along with a couple good civil-minded friends and associates, was out there today at the U.S. District Court, Eastern District Court of New Orleans, protesting, calling out cronyism, calling out these activist judge on the bench. One judge by the name, look, we're gonna call our judge just to be civil in this conversation, but she ain't a goddamn judge. In our book, she's a political activist. She is a puppet for the political machine, the New Orleans political machine. We're talking about Susan Morgan. We're also talking about Jean Trish Malonzo. These are activist judges that sit on the bench, take a paycheck, wrongfully so, under the disguise that they are judges, and that the judge, that the bench that they sit on is an independent one. My brothers and sisters, I'm here to tell you that's a farce, that's a lie, that's a joke. These political players don't give a damn about the rule of law. Look, you know something, I'm straying a little bit here from a scheduled program, but your brother have to talk to you, you know, I have to talk to you a little bit. We're family, and that's what we do as family. We talk to each other, you know. We share ideas and opinion. Now we're gonna differ sometime, and I understand that. I really do. But we still have to talk, huh? We still have to talk. So let me talk to you a little bit. We understand that we are living in the most politically corrupted territory within the union. We recognize and understand that. And we have evidence to substantiate that argument. And when we can find, when you have people like the head of the FBI, both outgoing and present, is saying that, look, our hands are full in dealing with political corruption. When your brother says it is just a confirmation, it is to the point where New Orleans, or the FBI branch here in New Orleans, don't only have one division, they got two. Just to deal with the political corruption here. Did you hear what I said a while ago? The FBI branch of New Orleans have two divisions. This is not something that's normally done, or they don't normally have two divisions for political corruption in a territory like this size. But that occur just because of the level. It is so deep. Let me go on my Facebook page. Can I go on my Facebook page real quick? Let's see. I want to look, when I use certain words or terminology, just so for the what you call them, the critics out there, or the skepticism out there, when I use certain terms or a certain phrase as it relates to certain topics or issue, again, the name of the name of this program is The Proven Truth. It's not Anthony Brown truth. It's not your truth. It's not their truth. When we talk about the proven truth here, we're talking about that which is constant with facts and reality. With facts and reality. So to hell with my belief or with my version of the truth. To hell with your belief or your version of the truth. We're talking about something that we can substantiate over a period of decades, if not centuries. Do you feel me? Say yeah if you feel me. Yeah, I feel you too. So we can substantiate the truth with facts and reality. Am I not here today conducting this show, talking to my brothers and sisters? It's a factual thing. I'm here, I'm present, I'm talking to you. You can't prove it. You can't say, look, Anthony Brown is in the studio. It is 4:17 p.m. February 15, 2008. He's in the studio talking to us right here, having a dialogue. That's facts. And you can back that up with reality. You're not asking somebody, look, wonder if that son ever, hold on there. What? What if he's actually in the studio? What if he's, hey, Anthony? No, you know. Why? Because you see me, I'm live here on Facebook, I'm talking to you over the radio, right? You know me, you know my voice, You know our look, you know the features that I carry. So you know for a fact, that's me. So that's factual, my brothers and sisters. That's the type of truth that we talk about. So, to go back to what I was saying before, when we talk about the most corrupted political state of the union, that was coming straight verbatim from the mouth of the ex and previous FBI chiefs that is here in this territory. We understand, this is where we have a problem. Because we know that the political corruption is so deep that it affects all branches of government. All branch of government. Now, look, I'm going to show you how reasonable of a people we are. We would give leverage, or we would say to those criminal actors that's in the executive branch, like we know them to be right here in the territory of New Orleans. We're talking about people like Michelangelo. We know that he's a goddamn crook. We know this. But we would tolerate a crooked, self-serving, self-righteous actor like Michelangelo being on the local level, a criminal. We could accept the legislative branch of government actively participating in criminal activities like we know they do. Bribes and extortion and all them descriptive adjectives. We could tolerate those two branches, but where we cannot and will not accept it is in the judiciary, my friend. Now, brothers, again, look, I'm talking to you for a little bit, you know. I was out there pounding the pavement and my voice is sore. But the fact that my voice is sore will not stop me from doing the work that needs to be done. This is not something I would want to do. We ain't no goddamn radio announcer. We ain't like to see our face all over goddamn Facebook and on the internet and on TV and radio. No, we are private people. Love our privacy. But there is work to be done. Right here in New Orleans, Louisiana. We got corrupted political players out there destroying our lives. When we have the judiciary, when we cannot go inside this goddamn courthouse and get justice, we ain't talking about hell, we ain't care about the law. We're talking about justice. What good is the law to us if there is no justice within the goddamn law? Huh? You know something, that's a quote as well. I like that. It's a quote from Marcus Garvey too. What good is the law if there is no justice within that goddamn law? In the territory of New Orleans, of Louisiana, on the highest bench, at the highest level in the judiciary, we have political players. Bernadette Johnson, the Chief Justice of the Louisiana Supreme Court. Don't tell me about she's a black lady. When was the last time she was black? Let me tell you the last time Bernadette Johnson was black and act as an independent judiciary or independent judge. When her little black ass was trying to become Justice of the Supreme Court. That's the last time she was black. When she running all over New Orleans, begging people to talk on her behalf. Going to organizations like Justice and Beyond. Going to organizations like the People's Assembly. Begging us. Oh, it's racial discrimination because I'm a female and because I'm black. I'm entitled. No, listen. This is what she said, you know. I'm entitled to be the Chief Justice of the territory of Louisiana because of my seniority and because of my years of service. Blah, 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 blah. That's what she did. At the highest level, my friends, my brothers and sisters, let me show you guys a nugget. Let me show you guys a nugget. And this is coming straight from memory. I think I'm supposed to have it somewhere in my file, somewhere I dock it somewhere. But let me show you guys a nugget. We are having issues right here, right now, in New Orleans and the Louisiana Fourth Circuit Court of Appeal, where sit people like Paula Brown. You know who Paula Brown is? You know who is Paula Brown? Away from being one of the members that sit on the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeal right now. You know who Paula Brown is? Paula Brown, for years, was the assistant to Bernadette Johnson. You talk about chain migration or chain immigration. Paula Brown was the person at one time who Bernadette Johnson would call and say, look, I got this brief I need to write, take care of that. Or look, call Mr. X and tell him I ain't coming back over tonight. Or call the mayor. She was a pencil pusher. Call it what you will. I choose to call her a pencil pusher. Paula Brown was once Bernadette Johnson pencil pusher. That's who she was. So they got a long lasting relationship. Not only, hey, hold on. Family, can I speak to you a little bit? Can your brother talk to you a little bit? Have you ever let me tell you, one of the things that they don't want you to do, all right? And one of the things worse in these courts is to exercise that thing that God give you, your God. They can't stop me from exercising it because I know when my God created me, He created me unique like a mother. So I utilize my nugget to the best of my ability. They don't like when you use critical thinking. Critical thinking to them is outside the box, is far-fetched, is unheard of. Do you realize here in Louisiana that the highest court of the land or the territory sits in the same building as the appellate court? How much do you recognize it or even know that? Here in New Orleans, let me say if my memory can serve me right. Don't quote me. I've been there several times on East Flow, but don't quote me. Because maybe I get it wrong right now. The Fourth Circuit Court of Appeal is on the second floor. Second floor. And the Supreme Court is on the fourth floor. Whatever. Something to that effect. I just, again, I've been there so many different times, but, right? In the same building. Now, you're going to tell me that when you go in front of a Paula Brown like I did, and I had a crony's friend who they call themselves judges, Lombard, McKay, all them joke of a judges, clowns who call themselves judges. When you sit in front of a Paula Brown, are you go in front of a Paula Brown? One in the same building with the Supreme Court justices, and was the clerk or the pencil pusher for Bernadette Johnson. You honestly think, no. I know some of your clowns, you know what I mean, some of your weak-ass mind-thinking Negroes out there gonna say, oh, it can be done. But I guarantee you, those of you who think like that are a member of what you call the Bar Association. And to you I show pity. But for the rest of us, do you think that when you go to that Fourth Circuit Court and face the likes like a Paula Brown, and she render her injustice, and you do what is known as a writ to the Supreme Court, like I did in my case, are Bernadette Johnson gonna even look at that? She gonna say no. She don't give a rat's ass about the rule of law. Who she give a rat's ass about is her friend in the lower court. That's who she care about. It doesn't matter if your life is on the line, your livelihood is on the line, your family is on the line, your property is on the line, your reputation is on the line. She don't care about that shit. She don't. Why? Because Mardi Gras season, they're gonna be in the whole social gathering together. Christmas time, they're gonna be one passing present up and down the elevators together. She gonna tell you, oh, I know her daughter in civil district court, and I don't want to be enemies. You know, it's to the point where it is so corrupt at all aspect or level of the judiciary. And that's what we're talking about. We know this crap. We know this. We know this. So, when we know that we cannot go into these judges, into these so-called chambers, or into these so-called courts here in New Orleans, and get justice, and we feel it right within ourselves to walk into these federal courts. My brothers and sisters, listen to me carefully. Let me talk to you a minute. Each time we start this program, we read two important documents to the territory of Louisiana and to the Union on a whole. The first document what we read is that of the Constitution to the United States of these territories. The second document is of Louisiana. There's a reason and a purpose for us to do that. As I said already, and I'll say again, and I'll continue to say, the Louisiana Constitution for all 50 other territories within the Union is who is your daddy. Let me break it down for those who don't understand what I just said a while ago. The Constitution of the United States, within that document, within the Constitution, you have what known as a supremacy clause. It's Article 6, Clause 2, Paragraph 2. The supremacy clause. Without the United States Constitution, there wouldn't be a constitution for the territory of Georgia, Louisiana, New York, New Mexico, California, North Dakota, South Dakota, none other places. And the fact that we have a constitution here for Louisiana, that constitution in and of itself must abide and adhere to the Constitution of the United States. It must piggyback the formation or the principle of the United States. It must. Who is your daddy? The Louisiana Constitution have a daddy. The daddy is the United States Constitution. So, what am I saying? These crooked ass judges call themselves, people that call themselves judges inside these courts. We just talked about one a couple of days ago in Civil District Court. What's her name? Etlin. Man, look. These criminal actors will call themselves judges in federal, in the way called state courts. When we recognize the fact that we cannot cut through them, we cannot get justice because of their political connection and the social ties that they have. When we approach these federal courts or these federal judges, we expect and we demand justice. Look, I'm on a whole total different topic, you know. I didn't even start go through my, I didn't even start my, go, before I start this show every day, you know, I write down what I'm going to talk about. I got my little sequence of, I didn't, because of what happened a few hours ago, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. We started this radio station so we can have a place or a platform to lay our grievances and to share our day-to-day activities and struggle with our brothers and sisters. Likewise, my brothers and sisters can participate and call us too. And we will hear your grievances, you know, or your truth, you know. When justice eludes us in state court, and we see it fit to apply to the federal court, just so that we can see the light or taste victory or achieve some type of justice. And when you go inside there and recognize the fact that these judges, these people who are supposed to be have superior quality, superior mindset, superior understanding, have a superior thought process, and these people piss on your boot until the rain is falling. Oh my God. What does that do to the average person? Can I get justice in your in your backyard? In your home, can I get justice? So you go outside the home to seek counseling or to seek advice, to seek help, to seek a superior mind, a superior structure. And when you go there, It's worse. It's equal or worse at your house, in state court. Come on. We can actually trace the ties, that neighbor string, that political connection between the federal court. Now, let me be more specific, my brothers and sisters. When we talk about federal court, we are specifically talking about the Eastern District, the Federal Eastern District Court of Louisiana, or of New Orleans. That building located at 500 Pardue Street. And the so-called judges that operate inside here. That's who we're talking about. We have different district courts all over the territory of New Orleans or Louisiana. That's the one in particular we're talking about right now. We have people who call themselves judges. You know something? I think I'm going to take a break, you know. I need to read you guys a document. I think I leave it outside in my automobile. We have people on the bench, sitting on the bench, calling themselves judge. We're talking about people like Susan Morgan. And it's, look, I'm going to take we're talking about people like Susan Morgan. We're talking about people like Trish Malanzo. Activist players. Activist judges. You go to these courts and this judge tells you, I'm not going to rule on your case. A matter of fact, they don't even give you the reasoning behind it why they're not going to rule on the case. Look, I'm talking about my case personally, you know. But at the same time, I could be talking about hundreds or more people. I'm not the only person who's riding in this boat. Yeah, I might be steering it, or I might be paddling, you know. But this scenario can apply to many other people out there. We was out there today in front of that building, 500 Pardue Street. People approach us and like, man, look, we know, but and look, that's the next goddamn thing, you know. And look, I said before and I said again, you know, on this program we ain't gonna be dogging or we ain't gonna be talking down or be littling any of the people, you know, any of the bosses, you know, because there's a deeper rooted cognitive thing going on here with a lot of us, either black or white, whatever. There's a more deeper social you know, thing psyche going on, which a lot of people don't recognize. And that's the reason why we here on The Proven Truth won't, even when we recognize the action of the average man and woman to be weak and ignorant, we ain't going to chastise it. And the reason why we're not going to do that is because we recognize certain facts. We recognize certain things. When we talk about corruption or about crime, when we talk about crime here in the territory of New Orleans, we ain't talking about the average Joe on the street. No, we ain't talking about the average Joe. And we are not, in the same time, we are not defending what the average Joe did that was wrong. We are not a lawless set of people. We are not lawless. We believe in justice. We believe in equity. We believe in living your life in such a way that you don't cause harm to another person, neither physically or financially. We believe that. But who we're going to talk about is this group of people that we created these documents for, the Constitution. Because if truth be told, or if you peel away the layer of that onion, you will recognize the fact that it's this group of people who call themselves politicians, political players, governments, leaders, who instigate and create all the issues that faces us. All the issues that faces us. And they do it with a willful and malicious intent, knowing that they're doing it. But they just rely on the fact that the average person is so busy, caught up into this capitalistic system, that you don't have the time of day to scratch your head or your balls. You have to try to fend for your family. They know that. So every aspect of your life, they try to make it so difficult. They do that, and that's what they do. So when we go into this federal court, and we encounter a Susan Morgan, and we encounter a Trish Malonzo, we understand where they're coming from. We understand that they cannot disappoint a Cedric Richmond. Or they're scared of a Ike Spears and a Blake Boutique. Or they don't want to lose the social tie with a Bernadette Johnson or a Paula Brown. Or they don't want to piss off a Mitch Landro because his sister is a family. Oh my God. Look, let me speak to you another nugget. You see, man, look, I'm totally off. I'm totally off what our plan was to do. So be it. Did you know that these two activist judges that we demonstrate against today in front of the Federal Building Code 500 Pargy Street. Did you know? Let me show you, for those who can see, the connection we're talking about right here. The connection, the ties that binds these political players at all aspects and in all branch of government. Let me show you what I'm talking about. All who know Mitch J. Landry, raise your hand. For those who can't see me, my hand is raised. I don't know him personally. Personally, I don't want to know that asshole. He's a crook, he's a criminal. I know he's a crook and a criminal. He's somebody who takes bribes. He's not supposed to be in jail. But you know why he has in jail? Because of his family ties and his family position. He have a brother by the name of Maurice Landro, strategically placed in the U.S. Attorney's Office. Right? But as I said and tell Mr. Nagan, the previous mayor, you need to save a bunk for Mitch Landro. Because believe me when I tell you, Mitch Landro ass is going to jail. Maybe I'm going to end up in the same cell like Ray Nagan. But let me go back to the story before I forgot. before I forget. Did you know that Mitch Landrieu family sister, what's her name? Mary Landrieu? Mary, right? Mary Landrieu. She was the one who nominated these two activist judges to Mr. Obama, President Obama. Right? And Obama, they go through the process. And now on the bench. Do you know how deep and dirty Mitch Landrieu is? You think his sister ain't gonna make sure that there's judges on the bench for cover his ass? Even if his brother, who's in the U.S. District Attorney's office, should make a charge slip through? You think they don't have people strategically placed on these benches so that when Anthony Brown file a charge or bring complaint against these crooked bastards, they don't do what they're doing right now? Follow the neighbor string, my brothers and sisters. Follow the ties. Follow the money. Follow that social gathering. It's easy to find. It's easy to find. Look, I get a document. We're going to take a brief break. You know, listen to some music, take a brief break. And for those of you who's watching me live on Facebook, live stream on Facebook, I'm going to slip out of the camera just for a brief second because I need to get a document. This document, and it is so important that I read this document, or at least a certain part of this document to you. Because, why is it so important? Let me tell you. When these judges are, let's back up. There is a process that these activist judges, Susan Morgan and Trish Malonzo, went through before they actually sit on the bench. And if you read, which I'm going to read for you guys don't have to read it because your brother got it. I got it, and I got you too. That's what we are here to do. Share information. Show the truth. Speak the truth. When I was a kid, my grandmother used to tell me, speak the truth, cost it what it will. Because he who hide the wrong he did, does the wrong thing still. That was an old-time Proverbs back in Jamaica. We don't care what the truth costs. Yes, I shot the sheriff. But you know what? I didn't shoot the deputy. The sheriff never liked me for morning, so I shoot his ass. Charge me for that. I go inside the jail and spend some time. Shit, I even do life for that. I did that. I'm owning up to that. I'm a man. I was born a man and created a man. But I didn't shoot the sheriff. So we speak the truth. We don't care who to offend. You will see when I read for you how Susan Morgan, when she was going through this confirmation process, some of the questions that was being asked to Susan Morgan and how she respond to these questions, it's going to blow your mind. For those of you who have to encounter her inside this court or inside this court, it's going to blow your mind to see how she responds to these questions and her philosophy and thinking process compared to what she's actually doing now that she's on the bench. It's mind-boggling.
Dumb. Is there any remorse within your heart for those people you've left in the past? Those Well, listen, trouble anytime put your back and come. I know all the world around. Have mercy, have mercy. Somebody please tell me now. Oh, Master God, world around. Put the war back and praise God, yeah, me son, tell me now. Oh, Papa Jesus, world around. Make we come together, and the Father soon come. There was a beginning, so there must be an end. Let us build a better day for our grandchildren. And look in our heart and see where we can mend. Where food is concerned, there is a problem. Woman can't find food, feed the children. While the rich man have the chicken back and feed the dog them. But whoa, big up to them. He who rights against poor people shall perish in the end. Tell me now, oh Master God, world around. Put the war back and praise God, yeah, me son, me want know. Oh Papa Jesus, world around. Make we come together, God the Father soon come. To the poor can't afford the knowledge, them no get no. The rich man have the dollars, I don't argue with some. Rather don't show some bullshit talk. Him a fling down a pier 190 events. Him bring down, sell the most crack, the coke, heroin and opium. Them no want to get to youth, elevate out of the slum. So them give we all type of thing for try turn with them. Them alone fi boogie woogie and have all the fun. Them alone fi have the girls, them and we love fi have none. Tell me now, oh Master God, world around. build a better day for our grandchildren. And looking our heart and see where we can make. Where food is concerned, there is a problem. Woman can't find food for your children. While the rich man have the food, I give dog them but to say whoa. Belong to them. Equal rights against poor people shall perish in the end. Tell me now. Oh, Master God, world around. Who the war back and praise God, yeah, me son, tell me now. Oh, Papa Jesus, world around. May we come together. And the Father soon come. Through the poor can't afford the knowledge, them not get none. The rich man have the money and no argue with some braggadocious and bouncy talk. Him a fling down up here 190 events him bring down. Selling the most crack, the coke, heroin and opium. Them no want to get to you, elevate out of the slum. So them do we all type of thing for try turn we down. Them alone fi boogie woogie and have all the fun. Them alone fi have the girls, them and we no fi have none. Tell me now. Oh, Master God, world around you. Put the war back and praise God, yeah, me son, tell me now. Oh, Papa Jesus, world around. Make we come together. Now the Father soon come. And the massive who them out to no fi hear, but you know we now. Didn't be going out till we show. That last run me gun.
Yes, family, welcome back. Welcome back. You are listening to your brother and host, Anthony Brown. Coming to you here live from the studio of Radio Gumbo Creole. Coming to you live from the studio of Radio Gumbo Creole, here in the beautiful territory of New Orleans, Louisiana. To participate in the show, you can call 504-303 8922. To listen to us, you can dial 712-432-7883. We live stream this program on Facebook. Check us out, Anthony Brown for Assessor 2017. That last track you heard a while ago was from Buju Banton. Politics, business, we now bow. Politics, business, we now bow. I'll break that down for you. What Buju Banton is saying. What Buju Banton is saying, we recognize these criminal actors. We recognize these politics that these politicians is playing. That's what my brother Buju Banton is saying. All right. So before we went on the break, right, I told you guys that I wanted to read something to you. Because you need to understand that these so-called judges, when they are applying for this position to become a judge, when they are applying for this prestige to call themselves a federal judge, or in this case, let's keep it specific. When Susie Morgan was applying for her judgeship, after she was nominated by her friend and ally, Mary Landrieu, Mitch Landrieu's sister, or whatever, there was a phase of question and answers, of interviews that she was to go through with these people in Washington, D.C., the Senate. Let me share something with you. This is a response from Susie Morgan, a written response during the time that she was a nominee for judgeship of the Eastern District Court of Louisiana. And these questions was asked to her by Senator Chuck Grassley. Let me read the first question to you guys. This is the senator asking the question. In your hearing, you were asked to describe your judicial philosophy. You responded by describing the role of the judge, but did not really give any insight as to your judicial philosophy. Would you please describe your judicial philosophy? So here goes Mr. Chuck asking Stacey Morgan, at the time seeking judgeship, about our philosophy, our thinking process, our belief, our idea, our concept. This is her response. Check it out. My judicial philosophy is that district court judges must demonstrate a respect for the rule of law and an understanding of the limited role of the judge in our constitutional system. Really, Susie? Really? So you're telling the senator right here that you recognize that the judge must demonstrate and respect the rule of law? Susie Morgan, Miss Susie Morgan, let me call it judge because you're calling yourself judge. Based on this very first question that was asked to you during that period when you was going through nominee, when you was via seeking the position of the Supreme Court judge, and based on your answer to the senator, you need to walk your ass off of the bench, Miss Morgan, because you lied to the senator. You believe in the beautiful words and the terminology of rule of law and the limited role that judges have as it relates to the Constitution. My brothers and sisters, haven't I been saying that to you? Haven't I been saying to you that we the people created this document and call it a constitution, not to give these political actors a free rein or a blank check or an open highway or freeway by which you can just run at will, but it was to bind the actions. Didn't I say that? Now here is Miss Susie Morgan, nominee Susie Morgan, looking to be seated on the Eastern District Court of Louisiana, telling this, look, this is written document. You know, a matter of fact, too, let's see something real quick. For the listening audience, I doubt I'm going to read everything. I just want to make certain point. But I think this is imperative for you guys to also read for yourself. This document, it's a public document. It's for the public to see. And I think if you go and I think you can Google this document. Man, you can Google anything nowadays, to be honest with you. So I think if you go and Google this document, type in Tracy Morgan nominee response. Do that. Type in Susie Morgan nominee response, or Susie Morgan qualifying for judge, whatever, for district judge. You're supposed to pull up that document. You see, the objective of this show, the objective of this program, my brothers and sisters, is not only to speak the truth, but is to inform, to raise a higher level of consciousness, to recommend critical thinking, and to encourage independent approach. That is why we instigate, or we start this program, The Proven Truth. The very first sentence within Susie Morgan's response, let me read it again now, because just in case I wasn't clear. This senator is asking, because he's saying that, look, before when we ask you about your philosophy, for those who don't know or understand what somebody's philosophy is, it's that thinking process, that process by which you utilize to that mark, that guiding post by which you utilize to render judgment, or to differentiate wrong from right. You know, philosophy. It's that process. Now check this out. She didn't answer the question before, right? So he had was to reiterate this question in a written questionnaire. This was her answer. The very first question, or the very first response to the very first question. My judicial philosophy, our judicial philosophy. That means her philosophy as it relates to the judiciary and its role. Her judicial philosophy is that district court judges must demonstrate a respect for the rule of law. Now, some can say demonstrate a respect, don't mean respect. And that in itself is moot, right? But at least she's trying to put the best foot forward and trying to tell the senator that, look, there is certain basic underlying principle that I'm fully aware of, and I think as a judge or a district court judge supposed to implement, and should I be nominated to the bench, this is my philosophy. She further goes on to say, federal courts are courts of limited jurisdiction. As a result, judges should decide only cases or controversy that are properly before their courts, and these cases should be decided as narrowly as possible based on the law at issue and the decision of the United States Supreme Court and Fifth Circuit Court of Appeal. Judges must decide all cases fairly and impartially without regard for the judge's personal view or opinion. Oh my God. Look, I'm going to be honest with your family. I read this document already. But every time I read this document, it's just like it's reiterating certain principles and ideas and concepts, and to read this document, and to look at her action inside these courts right now, you have to sit back in a rocking chair and rock and say to yourself, what the heck? You must sit back in your rocking chair and rock. You can't keep still. It's like fire burning your ass. Here is Susie Morgan. Family. Susie Morgan. Judge Susie Morgan. As it is right now, have a case that is properly in front of her, that she refused. I think I'm going to put that document on my Facebook page for all to see. She refused from ruling in the case. And based on that action alone, now she cannot turn it back, you know. It's on the record already. Even though we know that, and we have evidence of them tampering the docket in the Eastern District Court of Louisiana. They have a funny way of counting inside here. They don't count like how you or they teach to count in school or in kindergarten. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. In a logical sequence. They count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 13, 14. They skip certain numbers or they put certain documents before, not in a logical sequence as which the courts get it, but they do that just so they can distort, lie, fabricate, and render injustice. Susie Morgan, the very first question and our very first response. A judge should decide only cases or controversies that are properly before their court. Now, so far on Facebook, I don't personally know anybody or see anybody that's on Facebook. You know, Mark, I don't know. Alfred, I don't know. You know, I don't see nobody who is on Facebook right now who I know from a first hand knowledge is friends or associated with Susie Morgan. But to anybody on Facebook or on the YouTube or out there in the radio land who is listening and know Susie Morgan or is a friend and ally of Susie Morgan or have the ears of Susie Morgan, you can go and ask her. You can ask her, you can say, Susie, Anthony Brown said, I should ask you a question. And this is the question. Based on your response to Senator Chuck Grassley when you were seeking to be nominated to the bench, the very first response, the second sentence down, or the third sentence down, where you state, judges should decide only cases or controversies that are properly before their courts. And these cases should be decided as narrowly as possible, based on the law. Why is it then you refuse from ruling in the case of Brown versus, what the Secretary of State name again? Man, I'm tired. Where was the Secretary of State name? Why is it that there's a case that is properly in front of you right now, that you refuse to the point where you sign an order denying to rule on these cases. This is what I'm saying, family. Based on this response from Susie Morgan alone to the senator, any benefit, pay, or privilege that she's receiving being a judge on the bench should cease forthwith. It's a joke. There is no way that justice supposed to elude you in these so-called state courts, and you take that controversy to the federal court and justice eludes you there too. You see? Let me share something else with you. The second question that the senator asks Susie Morgan. Now, again, family, we're talking about critical thinking right here. Critical thinking. And for those of you who go to these institutions of higher learning, I'm not knocking you. But I know that some of you are just so brain dead, are just inside that box, and you cannot come out that box, and you cannot see anything outside that box. But for those of you who can, let me read to you the second question that the senator asked Susie Morgan. You have been very active in politics over the course of your career. You have volunteered time and donated money to many Democratic candidates. There is certainly nothing wrong with that, said the senator. But your political history may concern future litigants should you be confirmed. Isn't that hitting the nail on the head? I don't even have to read our response, which we're going to read it though, but isn't that hitting the nail on the head? I'm going to answer that question for the senator right now. And it is yes. And that is the reason why we are not only protesting in front of the federal court, or we didn't only protest in front of the federal court. We are calling, and I personally going to ensure that Senator Chuck get a copy of the correspondence that I'll be sending out, informing him based on his questions that he asked and her response, and inform the senator or the senators of her present action on the bench right now. His second question: we know you're politically active to the point where you donate to candidates, Democratic candidates. In and of itself, nothing is wrong with that. But don't you think, I'm paraphrasing right now, family, don't you think it will pose a conflict of interest? Don't you think that somebody like Anthony Brown who think outside the box, critical thinking, gonna find some issue with that? There's a part A to the question. A, do you think your political activity and contribution would be of concern to any litigant who might appear before you if confirmed? If so, how would you respond to any concern that may be raised? You see, this senator in his questioning was a genius. Or maybe I should take that back. But this senator was asking questions like a marksman. Straight bullseye. Let's check out our response, family. This is the response to that question. I have never been employed by a political party or a particular candidate, and I have never had a management role in any campaign. My participation has been in a minor voluntary role, as my primary focus has always been on the full-time practice of law and my family responsibility. I do not think that my previous activities or contribution will be of concern to any litigant who appears before me. You're wrong, Susie. I'm telling you right now, you're wrong. So that statement right there is wrong. Period, full stop, finish. If I am confirmed as a federal district judge, I will not be involved in any political activity, and I will base my decision only on the facts and the law without regards to personal opinion. Now, all who believe that last statement or sentence, raise your hand. And it's nobody raising their hands, so I guess nobody believes it. She's wrong. She's also wrong. And before she was nominated to the bench as a district court judge for the Eastern District of Louisiana, she was politically active, my brothers and sisters. She was politically active, and she's still politically active today, backing the likes of a Cedric Richmond, backing the likes of a Ike Spears, backing the likes of a Blair Boutique, backing the likes of a Bernadette Johnson, backing the likes of a Paula Brown, backing the likes of a Mitch Landreau, backing the likes of a Errol G. Williams. She's still politically active today. She should have never been confirmed to the bench, but she did. She needs to get the hell off.
To have a revolution, and what it takes to make a solution, fighting against oppression, ooh yeah, battering down depression, oh yeah, Until the philosophy which old one rates superior and another inferior is finally and permanently discredited and abandoned. Everywhere is war. It's a war that until they're no longer first class and second class citizens of any nation, until the color of a man's skin is of no more significance than the color of his eyes. It's a war that until the basic human rights are equally guaranteed to all without regard to race. But it's a war that until that day, the dream of lasting peace, world citizenship, rule of international morality will remaining but a fleeting illusion to be pursued, but never attained. Now everywhere is war, war, and until the ignoble and unhappy regime that hold our brothers in Angola, in Mozambique, South Africa, subhuman bondage, have been toppled, totally destroyed. Well, everywhere is war. There's a war. War in the east, war in the west, war up north, war down south, war, war, rumors of a war, and until that day, the African continent will not know peace. We Africans will fight, we find it necessary, and we know we shall win, as we are confident in the victory of good over evil, good over evil, yeah. Good over evil.
Yes, brothers and sisters, welcome back. Welcome back. You are listening to The Proven Truth with your brother and host, Anthony Brown. You are listening to The Proven Truth with your brother and host, Anthony Brown. To join the conversation, you can dial us at 504-303-8922. You can listen to us from the comfort of your phone by dialing 712-432-8730. 7883. You can also listen to us on the web at www.radiogombocreole.net. We do live stream this show, this and every show we do live stream. It's also archived on the YouTube channel. You can visit us there where you can see previous recording of this show by typing in The Proven Truth with Anthony Brown. This show, we choose to, the objective of this show is to inform, not educate. We ain't here to educate no one. We ain't trying to educate no one. What we are doing or trying to do in our humble capacity is to inform, to combine facts and reality, to raise a higher level of consciousness. If we can inform you to the point where your level of consciousness increases, our job is done. To the point where your level of consciousness increases, and in so doing allows you to exercise those brain cells, utilizing them critically, critical thinking, then that process will trust you into taking independent approach to, any other aspect of your daily life. To all of those comrades, friends, associates, civil-minded people, law-abiding citizens that take that time out of the day to come out and stand in solidarity with us today at 500 Pardew Street, Federal Court Building. We say to you, much love. We appreciate and recognize the love. There is some of us, or some among us, who will speak and speak support. However, they don't show it. And for all who show it and recognize the fight, much love. Again, we ain't gonna read this document in its entirety. We recommend and advise that you guys go. It's a public document. This document, everything that to do with elected officials are public document. It's a public document. You can go and Google right now and Google this document, and you're supposed to pull it up. If you should go to Google and type in any phrase, Susie Morgan nominee, Susie Morgan District Court, or response of Susie Morgan. Yeah, try that last one, that latter. Response of Susie Morgan. I think if you type in that response into your search engine, response of Susie Morgan, that PDF document or that PDF file is supposed to pop up. But if it don't, you can just search and you will actually see the response from Susie Morgan as it relates to a question that was asked to her, written question that was asked to her during our nomination process. Look, Susie Morgan should have never been a district court judge. Susie Morgan should have never been a district court judge. But when we understand the political ties that Susie Morgan had before, during, and after her nomination to the bench, you will see why. The second question that Senator Chuck poses to Susie Morgan came in 3 parts. It came in a part A, part B, and a part C. A matter of fact, actually 4. You got the main question, then it went into a part A. She responds to that part A, the part B. Let me read it 2B of the senator question to Susie Morgan. This was the question asked. Public records, this is the senator asking the question. Public records indicate you made campaign contribution during the time you were requesting consideration for nomination as a United States District Judge. Now, I don't know about anybody else, family, but that alone is supposed to be a red flag. That sentence alone to me is a red flag right there. But let's give her the benefit of the doubt. Let's go on to the next part of the question. Do you think that such contributions generally raises an issue of an appearance of impropriety or reduce public confidence in the integrity and impartiality of the judiciary? Oh my God. What a question. Man, this guy is hitting the bullseye left, right, and center, even with blindfolds on. Even with blindfolds on, this senator is hitting the question to Susie Morgan, hitting the bullseye. I can answer that question for him. Public record indicates. So this is nothing fictitious. This is actually facts we're talking about right here. Public record indicates you made contribution, campaign contribution during the time. How much people did Susie Morgan bribe and call it contribution? The same thing that Mitch Landry does, or the same thing that Civic Source did to Mitch Landry. Public record indicates you made campaign contribution during the time you were requesting consideration for a nominee as a United States. Look, I don't know about nobody else, no. But I think that that in itself is supposed to be illegal and unethical. How the hell you supposed to vying or trying to seek office, public office, trying to be on the bench, and during that same time, you spitting out money to people who maybe can scratch your back or make a phone call for you? Susie, I have a question for you, Susie. Tell me the truth. Be honest. It's just me and you, Susie. How much people call Obama on your behalf? How much senators you campaign or you donate to? Look, Susie, nobody ain't listen. You can tell me. Send me a text message, Susie. 504-251-1203. Text me and tell me. I ain't gonna tell nobody. That's between me and you. Alright, Susie? Alright. The senator then went on to ask, do you think that such contribution generate? Now, well, it's a righteous question. It's a righteous question. It's a righteous question. Do you think that such contribution generally raises an issue of appearance of impropriety or reduce public confidence? Hell yes. Hell yes, it does reduce public confidence, Senator Chuck, in the integrity and impartial. Look, this is one of the reasons why when these TV channel or news media asked me today, what next? I said to them that we will be contacting Washington, D.C., members of the Senate, so that if at least an investigation can be conducted to find out what the hell is going on in the Eastern District Court, the U.S. Eastern District Court of Louisiana, when we know from a fact. So hold on it. You're gonna tell me that this person, all her political life, or all her adult life, all her legal life, she was politically active to the point where she's contributing money to candidates, and all of a sudden she just so pure and righteous that she now become a judge, a U.S. judge, and she just stop all her political activity what she used to do before? No, check this out. Check this out. Even during the time that she was being nominated, so Mary Landrieu called our friends, a couple of our friends in Washington, D.C., you know, scratch Obama back and say, look, I need these two judges, Susan Morgan and Trish Malanzo, to be appointed to the Eastern District. Let me tell you something. So, during that time, the nomination process, she was still politically active. So you're going to tell me now that she on the bench, she just drop all of that and forget everybody who she put a phone call into before she was nominated, or forget everybody who she contributed to funds to? You're going to tell me when a Cedric Richmond call her, or when the legal mind, the legal brain, Ike Spears, the legal mind behind the political machine here in Louisiana, call her and say, look, this is what we want. She gonna say no? Look, as them guys said, were born last night, or in the night, but not last night, huh? Family, it is important for you to just look at it. You'll be surprised to see some of our questions. Let's look at our response. Let's look at our response to that. This is Susie Morgan responding. I knew and support Senator Landrieu for many years. No, you see, at least he was honest right here. Senator Landrieu for many years before I requested consideration for a nominee. Before I requested consideration for nominee. So she went to her friend. She went to her friend. Somebody who she know for many years. And she said, you know something? I'm tired of the public sector work. I'm tired of being, do these cases, I want to be a judge. And I don't just want to be any judge. I want to be a United States district judge. Nominate me. Do you think the argument was that simple? What do you think Amiri Landrieu said to Susan Morgan at that point? Well, Susie, you're a good person. I morals and integrity. You've been practicing law for a long time, and I think you'd be a perfect candidate or a perfect judge. And based on your track history on the bench or your trial experience, yes, I'm going to nominate you and talk to Barack Hussein Obama on your behalf and tell my friends in Congress to vote for you as well. You think that was the conversation between Landry and Susie Morgan? I don't like calling people fool. I really don't. But if you think that, if that's what you think, I think you put too much whiskey in that drink. I think that conversation went totally the opposite. Based on the first-hand knowledge that we have here in New Orleans, where one hand washes the other, one political hand washes the other, one cover up for one. Let's finish reading our response. Under these circumstances, I do not think that my contribution to her would create any appearance of impropriety or would reduce public confidence in the judiciary. You know something? I think I need to give Susie Morgan some weed, some of that good indica weed. Or maybe she was smoking some of that good indica weed when she responded to this, when she responded to the senator. Family. This issue is not nowhere close to being over. Nowhere close from being over. This is your brother and O saying, until, a matter of fact, today is Thursday. check us out Saturday. Again, we operate here every Monday, Thursday, and Saturdays. And Saturdays we like to go mellow. And Saturdays we just play, we play music. We bring to you music from the Caribbean. Music that I listened to when I was a kid, music that I grew up on. So on Saturdays we bring to you 2 hours of reggae music. Some of you might recognize the artists. You know, we have some Bob Marley, some Peter Tosh, some Burning Spear, some Frankie Paul. You know, we kind of mixed up a bit. Some of you might appreciate that. You know, you can part with us. That's how we decompress. That's how we tone it down a bit. That's how we prepare ourselves for the fight the next coming week. Same time, same place, 4 to 6 p.m. Look, this is your brother and host Anthony Brown saying peace, much love.
Is there any remorse within your heart for those people you've left in the past? Those who came across your path, their life they've lost. Sure, and you blind. Say, circumstances made me what I am.